We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin. And today, Faithful Acolytes, we take a look at this. And what this is from Subi Honey. This is the Subi Infusions hot honey infused with chilies. And this is all we're going to get to know. It's not going to tell us what kind of chilies it is on the label. And we have here, so ingredient panel, let's just take a peek at it here. We have honey, dried chiles, and vinegar. So because this is a public service, what I did was I emailed them and I said, hey, what chilies are these? Right? What are you guys using? Are they Malagueta, like Mike's? Are they Cayenne? Or are they Arbol? Are they like Calabrian maybe sort of pizza pepperish type things? What chiles are you using? Because this is just a general drawing. This could be, it looks vaguely jalapeno-ish to me. I don't know if they're using that. And they sent me back, they did respond, and they sent me back an email saying they are red peppers. They use red peppers, red chilies. And so I sent them back, noting that red is not a varietal, right? There's a million goddamn peppers that are red. In fact, I would say most of them are somewhat reddish in color. That is completely meaningless, just like saying infused with chiles, also meaningless. So these guys don't want to say, or they don't know. And they might not be the ones making it, who knows. But let's get into it and see if it's any good. I've done a lot of hot honeys. This is a booming sector of the hot, spicy chili head, quote unquote, market at the moment. I've done a lot of them on the channel. You guys can check out that playlist. It's the Honeys and Syrups playlist. And I'm going to really try not to do any more that have extract because they are all just completely awful. Honey is way too subtle to try to hide that. But let's take a look at it here. And we can see that it looks like, wow, honey. Wow. Yeah, it just looks like a straightforward honey. There's a little slight cloudiness to it. I noticed that as well when I saw it on the shelf, although it's warmed up now a little bit. We're approaching fall as I do this. We're not there yet. We're technically still in summer, but it was a little bit cloudy on my shelf, so I might need to reconsider where I'm putting this. But for now, anyway, it's fine. But let's take a look at it. Like I said, it looks really good. It's the sort of pale golden color that we all have come to know and love from honey. And let's just get into it and see what we have. Not bad. Not bad. Flavor is excellent. Subi is more of a bigger name, I think, in the Midwest than where I am. I don't see it as much on shelf. This I ordered from Amazon. I couldn't find it anywhere on shelves. I did manage to find some Subi stuff, but it's not ubiquitous like it is in the Midwest. I couldn't find this, like I said, so I just ordered it, but it's really good. Subi honey is always really good. It's kind of a gold standard for honey. I mean, their customer service and response department is garbage, but the honey itself, product itself, is really good. This actually, I'm going to give this a default 1 right now. There is What's interesting is that it's a straightforward honey flavor. You can't really pick out either vinegar or chiles, particularly out of this. But I would say there's enough of a spark here, surprisingly, that I'm going to give it a default 1. This actually is not unsatisfying from a heat level, but maybe we can get more out of it. Maybe we can build it up. I don't know. Let's see what we have on the docket. And what we have here is Calzony. So I think we're going to need to do some close-ups of this so you guys can have a good look at what this actually is. So the idea with calzones is that you have this sort of center. These are the centers. This part right here, where you have all 4 meats. So you have sausage, you have pepperoni, you have bacon, you have ham. And then what they do at the back end of it is they tuck it full of one of the meats. So that one's pepperoni. You can see there's ham. This one is sausage. And the last one, well, you can barely see it, but that one's the bacon. So I'm not a huge fan of Little Caesars, but this is honestly, it's a good amount of food for $9, and it's pretty good. Like, I didn't mind this pizza at all. It comes with a tomato sauce, but we don't use that, of course. And I like the back end of this better than the front end. The front end, so Little Caesars usually, well, not always, but usually tastes a little bit cheap to me. So from the back end, where it's just this sort of bread, cheese, and meat, that actually I think works pretty well. The front part, where you've got the sauce and all the other stuff, and they could have done without dusting it with garlic, I think. But for $9, it was really solid. The other problem I have kind of with Little Caesars is the next day. I don't think their pizza does very well cold. This one I heat it up a little bit, but you can't do it too much, or this crust will sog out and it'll be not great. And this one you're meant to eat the crust. So I had half of it last night. Spitting out, trying to take some hot sauces for a drive on pizza. For whatever reason, I've been really, really interested in getting back to pizza this winter, so you might be seeing a lot of that in videos coming out, or you might not, who knows. But at the so I had half of it last night, just kind of playing around with different hot sauces and stuff. And most of them work pretty well, so I chose pretty well. It's not always the case, but I did last night. And I saved half of it because I wanted to do this honey on pizza business. And so honey and peanut butter is something I have a lot. And as long as the honey, it doesn't show up in videos as much anymore. I still eat it all the time. But as long as the honey is good, that generally is going to be a fine combination. I'm happy with the peanut butter. And this one is a very good tasting honey, so I'll be able to whip through all of this, which isn't always the case with the extract ones. But, I've had it on chicken, and I'm sure I've had it on honey at some point, but I'm going to have it again on honey here. Just see it as. So we're going to start with the ham. This one's the ham right here. I don't love it on this. I mean, honey on pizza is a fun idea. I would almost rather have something else, almost always. And you can dust it with pizza flakes. In fact, we'll do that for the next one. This pizza works better without the sweet component, I think. That's the issue. It flows well. It's got this neat little cap here that seals itself off. No mess, no fuss. Alright, let's get some of those pizza peppers. I've had these for quite a while because I keep forgetting I have them. I should really get back to making like shrimp diavolo. That's some nice pasta, but maybe this winter I will. I'm just kind of getting these lazy streaks where, especially in the summer, I always want to cook stuff. Shrimp Diablo is fun, but it's not ever going to lend itself very well to hot sauces either. But the idea is to use these dried peppers. And I'm sure it doesn't say what these actually are. Crushed red peppers. There's no ingredient panel on this, which I guess is not a thing you need to do with. I guess it's technically considered a spice. I kind of wish I knew what these were. It just says red pepper. Meaningful. Alright, let's doll this up here and throw some. See if this improves things. There. Oh, messy. Alright, so here's what we have. That's kind of what I need to do, I guess. Flavor's not better, a lot better. It's not really to give me a measure, though, of how hot this honey is. I'll be getting an artificial reading. Excellent combination, though. Dried chilies and honey. So, I will say this is one of the better tasting hot honeys I've had on this channel. It's not among the hottest, to be clear, but flavor-wise is quite good. Alright. On to the bacon. That was pepperoni. Start with ham, that was pepperoni. This is the bacon. And we'll finish up with the sausage. The sausage, so usually sausage pizza is usually my least favorite. I will say this. Little Caesars has a quite good pizza sausage. Amazingly. Now, this is a 4-meat type pizza. They just did a great job. I mean, I always feel like I'm slumming it a little bit with Little Caesars. But I'll tell you what, they definitely got it right on this one. This calzone thing, man. It looked gimmicky, but it also looked good. For $9, I got 2 meals out of it. Can't beat that with a bat. They're not exactly giving frozen pizzas away. So I'd say $9 is money well spent, I think. I have no complaints. I should try a solo, I guess, on the bacon, but I was getting such a good flow going with these stupid things. Okay. Last one. Sausage. Maybe I better just do this one with honey by itself. I like this honey, but it is somewhat on the sweet side. And honey is That sounds stupid, right? Of course honey's sweet, right? You idiot. Yeah, I know. But it ranges. Certain honeys are a lot less sweet than others. I mean, it's okay. This isn't a use that I like. I don't think there's enough to contrast here. Unless you add in this. And I've done the hot honey and dried chili pepper pizzas before. I don't recall what playlist it's in, but you can definitely check out me doing that. It was a Valentine's Day video. And I did a sort of hot one style with a bunch of different hot sauces. It's probably in the everything else playlist. Does not remember being specific to anything. Alright, let's try it with the sausage and cheese part. Whoa! Whoa! That's actively bad. What the hell? I think the sausage, I must have got some of the crispy edges because I got some of the soft sausage on the inside. And that's how sausage usually is, which is bad. Pizza sausage is not usually a thing I enjoy. And these pieces that are in the inside, I actually got a good fix on the flavor of just the sausage and the bread and the cheese. And oh, that's not good. Let's get some peppers going in there. Whoa, that was gnarly. Alright. I'm not going to take it back, my comments about their sauces, but it has to have some of my artifact on it. It has to have some crispy edges. It's got to have some heat. It's got to have some browning on it. It's got to have a nice sort of caramelization to it, or that is, or it's just as bad as every other sausage. I'm just not a fan of sausage on pizza. I mean, I guess that's really the bottom line. Although this one I do like in specific instances. Alright. You may go. Thank you for dropping by. It's a good thing that I had these. Now it'll take me another... I've still got a third of this left. This will probably take me another year or two to get through. Usually I just don't ever have it on pizzas. I forget I have it. You know, because I'm putting hot sauce on pizzas most of the time. And I like hot sauces better than I like honey on pizza. Like, honey to me is really... It's one of those things where I would use it, where I would use, like, crystallized sugar. Right? I see people say, well, honey on ice cream. Would you put crystallized sugar on ice cream? If the answer is no, honey doesn't go there either. Can you bake with it? Sure. Can you put it in other places? Stir it in drinks like crystallized sugar? Yep, definitely. Other than that, you know, honey apple, it's fine if you bake it with it. I don't like it externally with that, though. So that's really how I look at this. Although I wouldn't make a cinnamon and honey toast. Cinnamon sugar, maybe. Cinnamon and honey, not a prayer. And I mean, that probably is just specific to me. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I guess let me know how you guys like to use hot honey if you care to do that. But
Okay, so this one is a good one. This is a really solid hot honey. Definitely, probably in the top 2 or 3 hot honeys I've tasted. Sous Bee knows their way around the honey. They've always been a really quality product. No dissent, no even question of that as far as I'm concerned. I don't like the way that they respond to inquiries. I think that's pretty shit. But as far as the product, it is excellent. This one has just enough of a splash of heat where I think it straddles that line where it's going to be surprising to chili heads because most of us, I think, with hot honeys are expecting nothing. And it also is, I think, moderate enough that it's just going to give normal people just kind of a little flair of just kind of a, ooh, what is that? It's probably about as hot as if you find some, these are actually hot for crushed red peppers, but if you find some pizza peppers, sometimes they'll be a little bit hotter than normal. Most of the time, they're not. Most of the time, actually, you're just adding it for flavor, in my view. But sometimes you'll get one where you get a little spark that's surprising. You're like, oh, hey, all right, very nice. That, I think, is where this lies, where it's just kind of a pleasant little spark. This I would have no problem putting this in like a cheaper tea. I drink my tea black when I have a high quality tea, but a cheaper tea I would definitely consider putting this into. Or if you're making, there's like a remedy when you're sick of, I think it's scotch and ginger and lemon and honey, I think, or is this 3-4 things you put in there. You make yourself a little something like this. This would do well in there, very, very well. So flavor-wise, this thing is aces. This is a really, really good honey. Definitely well worth your while. As far as heat, it's not blazing, but it is definitely more than I expected. I'm not giving it past the default one. It definitely is more than like other stuff that might say it's spicy. Like you can tell there's something there, right? It's not where I would say it's a legit one or anything. Like it's there. I think they're trading on the trend. With the name, it's not actually hot, but it is quite nice. This is definitely well worth picking up, particularly if you like honey and use it a lot. I like what they've done here. Very, very good job as far as flavor. Heat, I think it's pretty hard to find a honey just because honey doesn't lend itself well to dumping a bunch of heat on it because then you start to lose the flavor. So the product itself, I think, naturally limits how much of that you can do and still have something that's actually good tasting. But so anyway, we'll leave it there. This is the Sous Bee Infusions Hot Honey. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.